Hi, I'm Crichelle, and for those of you who don't know, I am the Youth Education Coordinator at Snowmass Chapel, and today I thought I'd deliver a little message of encouragement to you while I cook dinner. So, I've prepared it so the kitchen doesn't look as messy as it could right now. We all know that when we're cooking, it's a bit more chaotic. So today I wanted to talk to you about the Eucharist. The Eucharist comes from the Greek word for Thanksgiving, and nowadays we have a service at church called the Eucharist, the key component of which is an event that we call communion, which refers to togetherness and community. And in our current situation, I think a lot of us are feeling a little less connected to our community and a little less full of Thanksgiving, perhaps. So tonight I'm preparing a stir fry, which is not particularly biblical and not what most of us think of when it comes to communion, but I am a big believer in turning every meal into a Eucharistic experience. So something that's important for having a Eucharistic mindset while we eat is considering all the people who've participated in the production of this meal. So as we think about people who are involved in the production of our food, right now what comes to mind very easily are the people who work at grocery stores who are putting themselves at risk a lot of the time to give us access to the food we need to stay alive, along with people who drive our food across the country in refrigerated trucks from place to place and ensure that we have access to what we need, especially in isolated communities like the ones we live in. And thinking about their involvement in the production of our food is one way in which we can feel communion with others and with God's creation. Now, you probably can tell that I didn't grow up in America, but in England, where I'm from, we don't have Thanksgiving, but we do have something called the Harvest Festival. The Harvest Festival is basically a big British celebration of farming and farmers and food. And we have hymns specifically for Harvest Festival. And the words to a very popular harvest hymn called "We Plough the Fields and Scatter" go like this. We plough the fields and scatter the good seed on the land, but it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. He sends the snow in winter, the warmth to swell the grain, the breezes and the sunshine, and soft, refreshing rain. As an adult, I think of that hymn often and the ways in which God plays a role in the cultivation of our food. And eating is such a cool experience if we're able to associate it with God and with others in this way. Preparing food is also a lot of fun if you have a food processor. So when it comes to experiencing the Eucharist at home, one of the best ways I've found to do that is to pray. So obviously we say grace before we eat, but I think it's nice to do a sort of meditation where as I take a bite, as I chew, I think about the flavors, I thank God for the richness of the earth, I think about communion with the earth in itself when we're eating things like vegetables that have grown up from the soil with that, soft, refreshing rain, or well-planned irrigation system in California, maybe. And I also hope that kids are preparing food with their parents at this time. Kids, I hope you're being as good as you can be. I know it sucks to be stuck in a house right now, especially when you would rather be with your friends or on that vacation that got cancelled or at a camp that you were meant to go to. But if you can be at home with your parents, working with them at this time and making sure that they are having not a terrible, terrible time, this is actually quite a cool opportunity to spend time together and to learn to cook some things. I'm gonna add some water to this before it burns. You're thinking like, what is she doing? She doesn't know what she's doing. I'm creative when I cook. So kids, if you're able to help your parents while they're cooking, that's a good way to have more communion and to have more of a Eucharist that feels thankful and full of joy and peace and hope. And it's kind of cool right now that we can't go out to restaurants and that we have to do this in our own houses. And it's a great time to start thinking during Lent about what it means to be thankful for what God gives us in the form of food. Ah, yeah. Look at that. Now I'm making a mess on purpose, obviously, so that the kids don't feel bad when they make a mess at home, and not because I'm actually just a messy person. Oh, I'm definitely a messy person. That's what forgiveness is for. So in a time where things can feel pretty mundane and boring and routine, I think it's important for us to find ways to turn typical everyday things into sacraments. And if we can turn eating into a sacrament, and that's something we can bring back into our everyday lives after this is all over, I think that would be a good takeaway. So I'm going to enjoy eating my meal mindfully now, and I hope that you are also able to engage with the Eucharistic mindset as you eat your meals this week and throughout this whole crisis. I know that our prayers are with you and my prayers are with you, and that we always have access to God, we always have access to that togetherness and that communion, and that all we have to do is ask for it. God bless. Happy Lent. Well, Lent. Doesn't even need me, does it?